There we go. So if you need to use cooking chocolate to do this. If you try and use just like a bar of Cadbury's or Hershey's if you're in America or whatever, it will not work. It will start to, well, it might do if you do it like this because it's a really safe way of melting chocolate. But normally it will separate, so all the stuff will start breaking apart and it will just be absolutely disgusting and inedible. So it's nearly done already now actually. Once it starts going, it really goes because the heat of the chocolate around it melts with the other bits of the chocolate. So you can see the milk is not even no more, you can't even see it. It's just blended in with the rest of this chocolate. Just let it dribble like this. Nearly done. Just want it to be really smooth before I put it in. I don't need any lumps in it. There we go. Like this. Oh yeah, look at that. Chocolate. Okay, this is nearly done. I'm getting really hot right now. Standing over the flame, right, just get the rest of this off. That's done. We're gonna look back at this thing. Right in there. Oh, that's a good view. Okay, get my gloves, because this is gonna be really hot. So you wanna have your gloves when you do this. And you wanna pour the chocolate into the mix, just like this. And because of the milk, it just flows right in. It hasn't got stuck to the bottom or anything. And there's basically no chocolate left in there. It's literally just nothingness. It's all in the mix. So put this in the sink straight away. Let it cool down. Don't let it accidentally touch it. And start mixing this in. And it should just blend in lovely like this. And it will look kind of disgusting right now because like the base mix with like a load of melted chocolate. But don't worry, this will change as soon as you add the flour. Which I'm gonna do next. So I put 200 grams of sugar, 200 grams, sorry, 200 plus 300, which is 500 grams of flour I need to add into this. Because it's 1-to-1 ratio, right? I'm just getting the rest of this butter off this thing so that that's stuck to it, it hasn't mixed in the chocolate properly. There we go. It's looking good. You don't really have to rush with this. Once it's hot, it will stay hot and melted for quite a while. You don't have to like be in a rush to get the flour in and mix it. It's all fine and good. Just get this. We'll put it on the scales again. Now here's where you might want to do something that most people won't do. Is you want to sieve the flour into the thing. I could use the big sieve, but I'm actually just going to use my regular size sieve. And I'm going to get my flour, which is actually inside the camera pretty much. Self-raising flour you want to use. Oh fucking hell. Who does this? Puts knots on shit. I can't undo this crap. Oh, stupid people who live in my house. I'm getting really hot. Okay. Also, this video is just proving that I have skills other than being shit at everything. I can do a cake. Oh shit, there's some flour here. Let's just get that in there anyway. Apparently that was 0 grams worth. Good job, scales. I only spent like £8 on you. Okay, so we want 500 grams of sugar, flour even. God, I'm getting confused. So put it through the sieve. Now what this will do is it just knocks air into it, which will make the cake nice and fluffy. And you really want to do this, okay? So it also gets rid of any lumps and stuff. You definitely want to do this with the icing sugar, but flour, it does help if you do it with flour as well. So you want to get half a kilo's worth in there, or depending on what ratio you've done. Just sieve it slowly, and it'll get rid of all the horrible lumps. So we got 200 grams, I might not have enough flour, oh shit. 300 grams, 300 and... Ooh. We'll see how this looks with 400 grams. It's exactly 400 grams. There you go, and it's just sit out. Now if you look at it, it's like a nice powdery, it's no lumps in it at all. It's much nicer like this, so just put this here and we'll mix this together. We'll turn the scales off for a second. So just mix this all in and it should blend, fold it. You want to fold it more than blend it. So I've got a mixing machine over there, look. Well, it's high-tech mixing crap. I'm not using it. Yeah, I'm really not, am I? But I think sometimes it's nicer just to do it with a bowl, you know. There's more, you get a bit of an arm workout from it, you know, and it's more satisfying. So blend it in, you should slowly see it's all turned chocolatey, bit by bit. I think 400 grams might be enough. Sometimes you want to go with the recipe, but you want to see how like moist it is. If it's getting really dry, you don't want to add any more flour, but I think this will be fairly like wet. I don't really know what the word is. Moist is the word for cakes. It's the only time you actually use the word moist is when you're talking about a cake. Any other time it's just disgusting. Damp doesn't sound right for a cake. Neither does wet. Ooh, yeah, I can definitely add more flour. See, it's very, still very, like, sloppy. So I can definitely add some more flour. It's just, I wasn't want to rise properly. I thought I was right with the 1-to-1, I'm just making sure. So it's about 1/5 under what I need right now. Just mix this into nice and blended, and we'll add the rest. The other 100 grams. And just by sieving the flour, it makes it far less likely there's going to be lumps in it. Like this. Lovely. There we go. Oh, look at that. There we go. I need another drink, Jesus. And we'll put another 100 grams in. And then we'll add a bit of cocoa powder to add a bit more chocolatey flavour and strength. Alright, so I'm going to do it a little bit at a time so I don't overdo it. Better to undo it than overdo it. And just add more. It's kind of hard to take it out. 50 grams, and then about the same again. Another 50 grams maybe. There we go, perfect. And then, while we're at it, I'm going to sieve in the cocoa powder, which just adds a bit of, cocoa powder is very strong. This isn't hot chocolate, it's just cocoa powder, so you want to make sure you actually get cocoa, rather than just regular hot chocolate powder. Because hot chocolate powder is like mostly sugar. Right, I need to add 3 ounces to do this. Scoop the hot chocolate, or cocoa powder even, onto the spoon. You want quite a bit, like this much. Pour it in. Sieve this. Now it's really important to sieve the cocoa powder because it's really lumpy. So do this. And you'll see like all the lumps left over with this. They're just not useful. They're fine if you want to put it in like a hot drink so it'll dissolve it. But in a cake, it'll cause lots of lumps. So you can see, it's like all the little bits in the bottom that aren't going through. So I'm just going to put these back in the tub. There we go. Perfect. And we'll mix all this together. Whew. Yeah, there we go. And it should get nice and chocolatey. And it should get a bit darker because we've added some cocoa powder. So let's just mix this all in. Blend it. Oh yeah. Boom. Oh, I nearly forgot one thing actually that I should have put in this, which I didn't just yet. It's not important. Well, it is kind of important. Actually, do I even want to put this in? I was thinking about putting vanilla extract in it, but I think I'll just keep that to the icing and leave the actual main cake regular chocolate cake. So there we go. That is the chocolate cake mixture done. Pretty much perfectly, I'd say. It's pretty good. Look at that. Boom. Chocolate mix, a ton of it. Let's see what it tastes like. That's good. And it tastes even better when it's cooked. So we're going to stop here. I'm going to chuck it in the oven, and we'll come back once I'm ready to ice and shit. Okay, so I've literally just taken them out of the oven. They're a beautiful golden brown. Look at them. They've risen really well if you look at it like this. You can see they've risen really nicely. They're nice and rounded. I cooked it at 150 degrees in my fan oven. You don't want to cook these too hot because they're chocolate and these are quite thick, right? If you cook it too hot, what will happen is the outside will burn and the inside will remain raw, and that's really not what you want. So you can see, I'm taking out just in time here, it's starting to burn a little bit there, but it's fine, I can cut that off. But yeah, you want to cook them slowly and for a long time, preferably. So I'd say like 150, don't go any higher than 150, even if you've got a gas oven. And just leave them there for a long time until they rise nicely like this. And a good way to check is you put a knife in it. I didn't need to because I know these are definitely done. But you put a knife in it, and if you pull the knife out and there's gunk attached to it, it's not cooked yet. You should also refrain from opening the oven at all. If you let the oven open and some of the heat go out, they can just sink. So you have to make sure it's hot all the time. So you kind of have to do it by eye a bit. One then near the end though, you can test it with a knife or a cocktail stick is a good way, or a kebab skewer stick. Put it in, pull it out, and if there's any actual cake mixture still stuck to the kebab stick, then they need to go in for a little bit longer. Maybe turn the temperature down and just put them in, just trying to cook right into the middle. So yeah, I'll come back when I get to the icing. Alright guys, we're back to stage 2. Well, actually, I don't know what stage this is now, it's probably like 72. This is the butter icing stage, the most fun. I need a knife, here's a knife. The cakes are cooling over there, they're just cooling off on the table. Look how thick they are, now you can actually see like the density of them. This is going to be one hellishly chocolatey cake, alright? So, pull this back here. So the first thing you're going to want to put in is, you don't really measure, you can measure with butter icing, I don't bother normally. So you want to just get regular, like sunflower spread or butter now. You don't actually want to use the stalk we used, it doesn't make for the best butter icing. You want sort of the stuff you'd actually spread on your bread, or your toast or whatever. Same kind of thing really. But you do want quite a bit, right? So you want a good old chunk of butter, or margarine or whatever you call it. I generally call it marge, or it's sunflower spread, but so it's actually made out of sunflower oil. But they all vary. I don't think you can actually get margarine anymore because it's like 90% fat or something. It's just like pure white. So we're gonna get all of this in here. We're gonna need a lot of butter icing, right? Because we're gonna cover the entire cake in it. So I don't know if you can see how much butter's in there. About that much. I can try and move the camera a bit closer and tilt it down a bit more, and let's try and get a better view for you when I'm putting stuff in. There we go, that's better. So there's butter there. I think that should be enough. I can always add more, right? It's fairly melted. Oh, God, sorry. The lid's stuck under the tripod. There we go. So let's put it over there. We're next to add the creme, right? Double cream you want. Double cream. This stuff's really important, it makes it taste delicious. I also need to get my vanilla extract, because that's the thing you put in the butter icing. For a nice bit of extra pow, you really do taste this shit, the vanilla extract. Kind of expensive, but you do not need a lot of it. You need like a couple of drops. So we're going to get this out. I could pour it, I'm going to pour it actually. Just going to pour like a generous amount in. Not an insane amount, but quite a lot. So it's like about a third, maybe about half of this tub. There we go. You never need a lot of this stuff. I mean, otherwise it makes the icing really hard to actually go hard, if you know what I mean. So now we need to sieve again. Now sieving this icing is critical, right? So we've got the sieve. You want to just sieve and sieve away here. So I've got 2 already open packets, so I'm just going to get them done first and see what sort of kind of state we can get it into. So got this one, just only a little bit in this one. Not much. Now sieving this will make sure it doesn't get lumpy, right? And you want to sieve a little bit at a time and then mix it. There's barely anything in this though, so dust cloud of sugar. Breathe in the air, it tastes delicious. Do you see these little lumps? You don't want, if they get in the icing sugar, especially the icing sugar, it can really ruin it. Or it doesn't ruin the flavour, but it ruins the texture of your icing sugar. And it's just not icing sugar, icing, just not ice, yeah. And it's not very nice, so add a bit more. I'm probably gonna add this whole packet at once actually, or not quite, nearly. Icing sugar dust cloud, yes! Oh my god, here we go. It's actually blocking out the camera's view as well, so it's pretty like getting on the lens. So you can see this like, or you will but in a second, how much like lumps get left behind. So imagine if they were all those lumps here were inside, it wouldn't be very nice. So now we're gonna you want to do this slowly, especially once you've sieved it, to just stir this to try and like melt it all in together. It's gonna be a bit annoying at first. Let's do it with a knife as well. It's easier to sort of cut the butter with a knife and sort of get it mixing. Later on you can use a spoon, but for now a knife's fine. Just try and like turn it in slowly. If you don't want to get icing, I've already got it on my toaster. You can't see that, but you don't want to waste the icing sugar. So slowly turn it. Here we go. And it should be very, very sort of runny, which it is, even once it's all added in. So here we go. Starting to get nice now. There we go. Now you can speed up a bit. Right. And the butter will be lumpy at first, but the more it melts, and the more you whip it, the less lumpy it will be until it's all gone. So it's fine. don't worry about that. That's also why you use a knife. It's easier to break up with a knife than it is with a spoon. So there you go, like this. That's the base level of butter icing. I'm going to add more because it's still very, very runny. And this will not set. You need a ton of this icing sugar. And normally to make it set, you actually need to put it in the fridge. This is one of the cakes you can't just leave this on the side. This has to be a fridge cake, right? Because all the butter icing will just melt off it and it'll go off. Anything with cream in it, you have to keep in a fridge. Just because otherwise bacteria will get into it and it'll go off and it won't be very nice. So what this God, I am tasting the sugar now, just in the air. That's kind of funny. Right, just keep mixing it in like this. There we go. I might change to a spoon in a second, now it's more sort of together. So you just sort of fold it into it, right? There we go. More and more. We need even more than this. We want a ton of this stuff, right? We're going to absolutely cover this cake in it. And you'll see why it's going to be so nice when we do. So currently it's just regular icing sugar, or butter icing even. And you see now a lot of the lumps have gone. There's not as many lumps as there were. It might be hard to see on the camera, but there's a lot less lumps in this now. I look down upon it, there's better lighting here. So it's getting more and more of this stuff. It's nice and smooth. I need to open the second tub of icing sugar. We're going to want a good ½ kilo of icing sugar to make this like nice and thick and creamy to go all over the cake. So let's open this up. We've probably put about 200 grams or maybe a little bit more in so far. We're going to add a lot more. So you want to add like maybe 100, 200 grams at a time and then stir it. Don't put it all in once because it'll try to clump up. Let's just sieve this in. Again, I'm going to blot out the sun with the bloody icing. There we go. Sieving this is critical though. If you don't have a sieve, don't even try and do this. You can, it won't be anywhere near as good. There we go. Oh yeah, right, I'm going to change that to a spoon now, I think. I think it will work better. Also, more stuff gets stuck on a spoon than on a knife, so that's another reason why sometimes using a knife's better. So let's just slowly scoop this in. There we go. I can feel it getting a little bit thicker now, which is good. It's always going to be kind of runny if you put cream in it, especially the amount that I put in, and butter as well. It's never going to be like really thick like you would if you just put water in it. But that's what we want. You just have to make sure that you leave it in the fridge. There we go, we get in there now, we've nearly got enough. Probably a little bit more, and then we've got enough sugar, icing sugar here. Butter icing, should I say. Oh, look how nice that looks. Yeah. Oh yeah, that looks really good. Okay. Another benefit of this butter icing is the microwavability, or the reheat. So you'll see when I heat up my slice that I'm going to eat. But you put it in the microwave and it melts into this lovely, like, it goes from being really hard into this really nice, smooth, sort of, kind of like chocolate sauce layer that coats the cake. And it also melts the sort of brownie inside of the cake. So all the chocolatey stuff inside the cake starts to melt as well, and it becomes nice and just really tasty. So it's like a chocolate brownie cake, basically, this. So I think this should be enough now. And we're going to add in the cocoa powder for the chocolate taste, and also the vanilla extract. So I might as well chuck that in now. So vanilla extract. I'm going to pour this, but you really don't need a lot. That's plenty. Alright, tons there. Probably even too much. So just mix that in. There we go. And then the cocoa powder gives it a nice chocolatey colour, and also the flavour, funnily enough. So just mix this in. You will not need too much cocoa powder because it's quite strong. Probably 1 spoonful, not teaspoonful, this size spoonful should do it. Maybe you might need a little bit more, it depends. You have to taste it and try. That's what I'm going to do. So we've got pretty about enough icing now. Hopefully we're going to add in the cocoa. So scoop a spoonful, get it into my sieve, and the sieve away. Get the chocolate in there. Almost done. Right. Stir this in, and it will slowly become nice and brown. And I'll taste it. The best, honestly, this icing is so goddamn nice. Here we go. Getting there. I might need to add a little bit more than this actually. It's looking pretty good. The more I fold it in, the more it will darken. There's quite a lot of powder here, so it hasn't been folded. There we go. So they get stuck to the bottom. I'm going to scrape the bottom because they get stuck to the bottom, so you see it's white, or it's white at the bottom, where the icing hasn't actually mixed with the cocoa powder yet. You don't want that because you have like weird white streaks on your cake. There we go. Well, that's looking nice and chocolatey now. Right, let's give it a quick taste. Make sure your hands are clean, obviously. Right, I'm going to give that a little bit more chocolate. It's very strong, but I need a little bit more to actually make it more chocolatey. I think currently like the vanilla and the icing sugar itself is overpowering. You want to definitely have that chocolate taste. So just taste it a little bit, not a lot. You don't need to like have your whole bloody hand in it. There we go. Stir this in, and then we should be ready to put this onto the cakes. So I'll come back when we're going to do that. Okay, and here is the finished cake. It looks pretty damn awesome and it is delicious. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I would record a bit longer, but my battery on the camera is about to die. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like it if you'd like to see more videos like this. Let me know. Bye bye.